Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a makeup look. It's going to be super basic like always. I'm just a basic bitch. I've been doing things a little bit different, so I just wanted to share with you what my new go-to look has been for winter. And we're also going to be answering some questions. I had you guys send in some topics through Instagram, so we're going to touch on a few of those topics today. All right, we have a few different topics. One of them being motivation and how to stay motivated, eating clean, eating healthy, working out, all that stuff. So we'll touch on all that and the juice cleanse. Okay, so that's how we're gonna start off. But first, I'm gonna prep my skin. I'm using my MERCIER foundation primer. This primer is very good. And then I'm also gonna fill in my brows using my brow wiz from Anastasia, and I use the shade dark brown. I've been doing my brows a little bit different also. I fill them in the same, but then I added one more step that I'm gonna share with you guys, but I'm not gonna do that step until at the end of the makeup look. But for now, we're just gonna fill in these brows. And I haven't been doing them very dramatic. I literally just fill them in wherever I see like it needs a little bit more filling in and shape them a little bit better. And that's about it, just really simple. While I fill them in, let's talk a little bit about motivation on being healthy, keeping up with your fitness routine. I think you just have to find, staying motivated with your fitness routine, I feel like you just have to find something that you enjoy, even if it's difficult, because I used to go to my boot camp classes all the time and it was super difficult. But I really enjoyed it. I loved how I felt. I love how strong I felt. And here in Maryland, I haven't been able to find a class that gets me really excited. Like I was doing Pure Barre for a little bit. I tried it out for a little over a month, but I didn't sign up again once my month ended because I didn't love it. I wasn't in love with it. I don't know. I feel like the workouts didn't do much for me. It wasn't, I don't know. So I knew that wasn't working for me. And instead what I've been doing now is like, I'm gonna try to do some at-home workouts. I don't love at-home workouts because since I work from home, I like to get out there and go to a class to get me out the house and whatever. But I'm gonna try a home workout because I'm just trying to save some money instead of signing up for another workout place, especially because I have a gym. Where we live, we have access to a little gym. It's a small gym, but it has pretty much everything you could need. So I'm gonna be doing home workouts, and I've also been going to that little gym and doing some workouts there as well. But I feel like the biggest motivation happens when you start seeing results. When you start seeing results, you're like, okay, this is working, I have to keep going. But until you start seeing those results, you kind of just have to force yourself and go. Like if you're working out at the gym, just even if you don't feel like going, just put on your sneakers, put on your workout clothes and just get there. Once you're there, you have to work out. You just have to do it. And that's the thing with becoming an adult, is that you don't have anyone forcing you to do the things that you should do. You have to force yourself and you have to stay on top of it yourself because everyone else is worrying about themselves. So you have to be on top of your goals and what you want to get done. Like there's no other way around it. If you want to get motivated, you just have to kind of force yourself until it becomes a habit. And then once it's a habit, you kind of just do it blindly. Even if you don't want to go, you just are so used to going that it just becomes a part of your daily routine. That juice cleanse that I did, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch one of my last vlogs, one of my last two vlogs. I did a juice cleanse for 3 days. And I absolutely fell in love with juicing, and I definitely want to do juice cleanses more often. And I've also just been incorporating juices more into my life. Last night I'd ordered a juicer so that I can start making my own juices at home because I really want to have a green juice every morning. Like I feel really good when I have these natural veggie and fruit juices. And the reason I wanted to do a juice cleanse, first of all, what am I doing? It's so hard doing your makeup and answering questions because I get like so off topic. But right now I'm just brushing out my lash extensions. I do have lash extensions if you're wondering, and I love them. They make my makeup routine so easy. All right, while I answer that next question, we're also going to start applying foundation, and I'm using my Hourglass stick foundation, and this shade is Golden Tan. And I love this foundation. It's just very, very easy to use. I wanted to do a juice cleanse because I felt like I was eating so like unhealthy. I feel like I was eating so much crap and processed food, and food is very addicting. I think food can be just as addicting as drugs, if not even more. And that's why in America there's so many overweight people and so many people with food addictions, and all they eat is junk, is because food is addicting. And that's how an addiction works. Like, it's hard to break it. As much as you want to, as much as you're like, I gotta eat healthy, like, it is difficult to break it. I know there's been studies with sugar and with cheese. There was a study that I was reading about that cheese is like at the same level as some drug. I forgot what the drug was, but it's at the same level of addiction as drug. That's why it's so difficult to give up dairy and cheese, because it's super, super addicting. Like, to this day, I would love to have cheese. But yeah, I kind of wanted to just detox my body from all the junk that I was putting into my body, like all the processed food that I was eating, because I'm addicted just like everybody else is. Like, I like easy meals, and I just wanted to clear my body of all of that. The nutritionist that I was speaking to, she was saying how she feels so amazing when she does her juice cleanses, because she does them often. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the juice cleanse. I wanna see what all the hype is about. Like, do you really feel good when you do a juice cleanse or not? And I also wanted to challenge myself mentally. Like, I get lazy too. Like, sometimes I don't feel like working out. I don't wanna eat healthy. And I get really lazy, and I feel that it's definitely a mental thing. Like, being mentally strong is so difficult, guys. Like, it's so difficult, and that juice cleanse proved it to me. But it also gave me so much confidence doing that juice cleanse, because I was able to stay so strong. Even though I wanted food, like I wanted to eat food, I stayed very strong. I didn't break my cleanse, and the reward for me was finishing up those 3 days. I felt so good, like better than I had felt in such a long time, better than I had felt in a year. And it was all because I committed to that juice cleanse, and I was releasing all those toxins that had built up in my body. And I'm so glad that I did it, and I'm so glad that I challenged myself mentally. Foundation is done, by the way. For concealer, we're using my MAC concealer. This one is the 24-Hour Smooth Wear Concealer, and it's in the shade NC40. I just wanted to touch on one more topic regarding the juice cleanse, because so many people were commenting like, oh my God, that's so amazing, but I could never do it. And when I hear people say now that they could never do something, my next question to them is, well, have you ever tried? And for the most part, it's people that have never tried that say they can't do it. So how do you know you can't do something in life if you don't try it, if you don't push yourself mentally? You are capable of completing any goal you accomplish. It's just how willing you are to be mentally strong, how willing you are to say no to something, to turn down temptation, to quit. So it all really depends on how strong you are mentally. And it's hard. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but it was really rewarding for me to give myself a mental challenge, because a lot of the challenges that I've given myself are more on the physical side, like, okay, I'm gonna stick to this workout routine, I'm gonna try this new workout, I'm gonna, you know, stuff like that. But it was really rewarding to challenge myself mentally. If you are one of those people that says like, I can never do that, you are wrong, honey. You just don't want to. Like, you just don't want to commit to it. But everyone is capable of doing anything that they put their minds to. So someone asked, what do I do for mental self-care? Because a lot of people don't speak about that. Your mental sanity and self-care is so important. And it's something that I take really seriously. And one of the things I do for myself sometimes when social media gets really overwhelming, and YouTube, is that I just give myself a break. Like, I'll take a day where I'm not on social media, I'm not like hopping on Instagram stories, and I'm not filming or anything like that, and not even watching YouTube, and I just take a break from it all. Because being on social media is super exhausting. Like, it takes a toll on your mental health. Like, just the negative sides of it, like people criticizing you and making things up about you and assuming things about you and spreading those lies. It's exhausting, and it makes you question yourself, and it also makes me question if I even want to continue putting myself online, because you can't win sometimes. Like, you can't please everyone. not everyone's gonna be happy with you all the time. So it definitely takes a toll. So what I do on those days is I just take a break. 2 days. Sometimes I do it on the weekends. Like I just won't be on social media because it's too much and you do need to give yourself a break. I think everyone needs a social media break because it's a lot. And then other things that I like to do for myself is read. I love reading books or listening to books on Audible. It just takes my mind away from everything that I have going on. Working out for me is also a huge stress reliever. Working out gives me so much clarity and it really puts me in such a good mood. That's why I continue to work out, because obviously it helps with your appearance and it helps with your health, but it helps so much with your mental sanity. Like when you work out, I've never worked out and regretted it. I've never regretted a workout. I never like work out and feel like, I wish I would have never done that workout. Never, ever, ever. Like I feel so good when I work out and I genuinely feel happier on the days that I work out, so. And okay, one really simple question. Somebody asked if I've been itching to go back to dark hair, and no, not whatsoever. I'm really enjoying this lighter hair. I think it's such a fun change, and I have not been wanting to go back to dark hair, so I don't know when that would ever happen. We're gonna do a little cream contouring, and we're gonna use the Revolution Concealer in the shade, where's the shade at? C13. So while we contour, we're gonna jump into relationships. And one person asked that she's 20 years old and she's never had a boyfriend and she just feels like she can't believe she's never had a boyfriend. And to be honest, my advice for you is enjoy not having a boyfriend, especially at just 20 years old. Like, girl, you can't even go to a bar. You can't even get in the club. Enjoy not being tied down to someone. Like, boys just bring you down. Like, they get in the way and you're so much more productive when you don't have a boyfriend. As a 20-year-old, like, that's your time to be selfish and do whatever you want. It's your time to hang out with your best friends, go on different adventures, travel, go study abroad without having to worry like, oh no, I'm leaving my boyfriend behind, or like, what is my boyfriend gonna think? Is he gonna break up with me? Like, who cares about boys at 20 years old? That's like one of the main advices I would give myself, like my 20-year-old self, is like, don't even be in a relationship at 20 years old, because just enjoy your life. You're not, trust me, you're not missing out on anything. Like, you have so much time to date. At that age, you think like you're so grown and old. Like, hello, you're 20, you're not even a teenager anymore, but you're really still such a baby. I still feel like a baby. And just enjoy yourself. Like, don't worry about it. It's gonna happen when it happens. And then someone else asked about long-term relationships and not sure if you're really in love or if you are just comfortable with that person. And I can definitely relate to that, because even before this relationship, I was in another long-term relationship, and when you're with someone for so long, things do get comfortable. And I think deep down you know when it's not working out anymore, but especially if you're asking the question like, am I still in love or is it just comfortable? You're asking that question for a reason, and you're probably more on the comfortable side, but it doesn't mean that you can't turn that relationship around. Like, you might just need to communicate with your partner more. Like, sometimes we don't like to have uncomfortable conversations with our partner, but you have to, especially when you're older. You have to have those questions. You have to have, when you're older, you have to have those conversations, because you're older and you don't have time to waste. Like, I don't know, for me personally, like especially at this point in my life, like, I'm not in a relationship just to see like, oh, we'll see where it goes. Like, no, honey, this is long term. Like, the direction like I see myself heading into is marriage and kids. Like, so if you're unsure, sorry, little bronzer break. If you're unsure about if you're just comfortable with someone or if you're still in love, first of all, you've already kind of answered the question because you're asking that question. So you must be in a little bit of a just comfortable stage, and you just need to talk to your partner. Like, is there something missing for you? Like, do you need a little more attention from him? Do you need more commitment? Like, what is it? Like, you have to figure out what it is that you feel you're lacking and have that conversation with your partner. I'm gonna use my bronzer as eyeshadow. That's what I've been doing pretty much every single day. I've just been putting a little bronzer in the crease just to not have it be so bare and to have it pop a little bit. And that is pretty much it. That's been my eye look. I don't like doing really bold looks when I have eyelash extensions because I feel like it's so difficult to really like clean your eyes and remove the makeup. So I just do really simple looks. And then I'm popping some of that bronzer on my lower lash line as well. Okay, one more relationship question, and this one is trying to be patient while waiting for a proposal. I'm currently in this situation and ready to give up. And I think that's such a relatable question. Like when you're with someone for a long time and then you're just sitting there like, okay, well, are we gonna get engaged? Like, do you wanna get married? That's another conversation you need to have with your partner, especially when you've been together for a long time. These are conversations that Chris and I have had because we've been together for a long time, and as women, if you wanna have kids, like your biological clock starts ticking at some point and you're wondering like, okay, well, are we leading down the path to marriage? Because I would like to have a child sometime soon. By the way, we're doing blush now, but that's another conversation you wanna have with your partner. Like you wanna make it clear like what your expectations are, and you also wanna ask that person like, what are your thoughts? Like when would you like to be married? Like what are your thoughts on marriage? What are your thoughts on kids? You want to know because you could be in a relationship with someone and just assume the entire time that they want the same things you want, and then when you finally ask them, they're like, oh no, I don't want that. Like maybe the person doesn't want to have kids, maybe they don't believe in marriage, but they do want to stay together and have kids. Like you have to have those conversations, but at the same time, you don't want to pressure them. I never want to be like, well, I need a ring right now, like you need to propose next month, like you have 30 days or 60 days or I'm out of here. Like you don't want to put that pressure on someone because I feel like that takes away from the beauty of getting engaged and the whole surprise element. But you do want to have the conversations of, how do you feel about marriage? Like, is it something that you want? Like, what kind of like the time frame you're thinking? You want to be clear on things, but you don't want to put that pressure of, you need to do this now, because that's not cute, and no guy wants to feel that pressure. Okay, before we move on to highlight, I am going to set my makeup with a foundation powder. This is something new that I've been doing, and I feel like my makeup looks amazing. And I feel like it's because of this one in particular. This is the Cosmetics CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder. It really does give you an airbrush look. It's amazing. And it also has SPF of 50+, which is amazing. The shade I'm using is Tan, and I literally just take a big fluffy brush and sweep this pretty much everywhere. It doesn't disturb the rest of my makeup, I swear. And see how I'm like going over my cheeks? It does not disturb my makeup. It's amazing. And you can also use this alone as just your foundation. I've done that as well. And I feel like my skin looks so, so pretty and airbrushed. All right, we're gonna hit our skin with some setting spray, and then we're gonna jump into one last topic. For highlights today, we're using the DESI and KATY Dose of Colors Fuego highlight. Oh my God, it shines. Do you see how pretty that highlight is? Oh my God. The last topic I wanted to touch on is toxic people. That's one of the topics that were sent in by you guys. And I have definitely had my share of toxic people. And it's definitely difficult, especially like if they're kind of your friend, or if it's a family member or something like that, or someone that you have to see a lot. And I don't really like confrontation. It makes me uncomfortable. So I just ignore people. You don't have to make an effort to constantly be hanging out with them or anything like that. Just start easing your way out of that relationship. And you don't have to have like a big argument either. You kind of just start cutting them off slowly, like no hit ups, no hanging out, stuff like that, because sometimes toxic people, they want to argue. Eventually you guys will fade apart. If they're not meant to be in your life, they will not be in your life. And one thing that I've learned when it comes to like people having negative opinions of you, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that other people's opinion of you are none of your business. If somebody doesn't like you for whatever reason, it's none of your business. So whenever like I hear somebody like this annoyed of me or doesn't like me or this or that, you know what? It's none of my business. Like, that's between you and yourself. Like, I can't please everyone. I'm never going to be everyone's cup of tea. So I kind of just take it with a grain of salt, because I also have so many amazing people in my life that do love me and do like to have me around. So it's your loss. No, I'm just kidding. We are almost done. This is the brow product that I was telling you guys that I am obsessed with. It's like my new little brow trick. This is the Milk Makeup Cush Clear Brow Gel. I love this stuff. It comes in different shades, but I like the clear one. And basically, it's a perfect little shape too. It's like a tiny little brush, and this brow gel is amazing. And what I do is brush the brow hairs up, and they stay in place all day long. But also by brushing the hairs up, it gives it this really pretty feathered look, and it's just so much more natural looking. I'm obsessed with this, guys. This is how I've been doing my brows every single day. This is what I've been wearing on my lips like every single day. I've become such a gloss girl. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but before I was only a liquid lip girl, and then I started doing just lipsticks, like regular lipsticks, and now I'm such a gloss girl and I love it. And my favorite gloss of the moment, and it already looks like it's almost done, I'm so sad I gotta buy a new one, is the Dose of Colors DESI and KATY. This one is in the shade The Most. It's the clear one with the pretty iridescent shimmer in it. It is so beautiful and it looks pretty on top of any lipstick you put on, any lipstick or lip liner you put on. It looks so pretty. I line my lips with a lip liner. This is a dark brown lip liner. It's by Morphe and it's in the shade Sugar Pie. So I overdraw my lips because that's like my favorite thing to do. Oh my God, so funny. But my mom was telling me that, well, I was like with my mom and dad a couple weeks ago, and my mom was like, you know, your dad thinks you got your lips done. Like my dad literally asked my mom, like, did she get her lips done? And I could not stop laughing. And it's because I overdraw my lips. And I swear, when I overdraw my lips, I feel like I do such a good job. Like my lips really do look like I got lip fillers, and I love it. And then I was doing my mom's makeup and I overdrew her lips for her, and oh my God, it looks so good. It looked like she got her lips done. It was so good. And she was like, okay, I need this lip liner. But yeah, I love overdrawing my lips, and that's what I do. So as you can see, I've overdrawn my lips, but I'm not filling the lips in. And the only thing I'm gonna do is kind of draw them in right at the corners, like on the outer corners. That's the only thing we're gonna do. Now we're gonna take our lip gloss and apply that. This is the most beautiful lip gloss ever. And something else I want to point out to you guys that I've been doing is I haven't been applying mascara on my lower lashes. I don't know, I've been very into it. I normally need to have mascara on my lower lashes, but I've also been doing that differently. Maybe if I go out at night, maybe I'll add lower lash mascara. For the most part, this has been my go-to look. Just a very simple stick foundation, a little powder foundation on top, basically no eyeshadow, just a little bronzer, lip liner, lip gloss. And this is the look. And there you have it. That's how simple my look is. I had so much fun chatting with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.